It's hard. It's hard to put yourself out there, and it's hard to say like I really want something without knowing that it'll be successful. I don't know why that is such a hard thing for people to do, but it definitely is for me. I think it's there's that the thinking around like the fixed versus the growth mindset. And so with a growth mindset, people are sort of believing that every step is a step that helps them learn and grow and build. Whereas people with a fixed mindset think that their basic qualities and intelligence are just fixed traits, right? And so if we sort of fall into that mindset, I think we can believe that if we don't experience success, that we're actually exposing our weakness rather than saying, no, if I take this step and I don't do well, I'm actually learning from that so I can pivot and adapt as I need to. So there's, definitely that sort of thought process of realizing that like it's okay if something doesn't work 100% right the first time. Like we're going to shift and adapt and change. And that's something I think that I hear from people who are entrepreneurs all the time is that the first idea like doesn't usually work.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's another example of something that, you know, like you said, on paper, logically, something, the whole concept of like learn from your mistakes. You hear that from when you're a kid. You understand the logic behind it. Like, oh yeah, you mess up and then you learn. You don't do it that way the next time. But then when you're actually facing it in real life, all of a sudden it's a lot scarier when you're talking
Yeah.
about a business decision or making some major life change. There's a lot more consequence behind it. So the idea of failing or
Yeah.
falling flat is a lot scarier.
The one thing that really helped me with that was thinking about what is the actual worst case scenario. I think sometimes things feel scarier if there's just like this nebulous, like, I don't know what would happen if this happens. But for me, if I actually think through it and I think like, well, what was the worst thing that could happen? Right? The worst thing that could happen was I learned a lot doing something that I enjoyed doing anyways, and that I didn't make money at it right away. And then I could pivot and adjust, but like I wasn't doing it because I needed the money. So, like, there was very actual little risk in a sort of concrete sense, right? But it still sort of internally felt like there was in some ways that I still needed to work through.